Forest Bioproducts Research Initiative at UMaine is a collaborative effort between a lot of different departments like forestry and chemistry and engineering, trying to figure out how to take the woody biomass that we have in Maine and make more from it. Not just making the pulp and paper that we've always made, but to make new bioproducts, new fuels and chemicals that can really help sustain the industry that we have and keep it going.
I grew up in one of the largest, greenest part of Chile. I did my undergrad studies there, and I have been working for more or less 10 years in wood-based materials.
I'm originally from Western Massachusetts, and I grew up near the paper industry, and they started to go under as I was growing up. So I got to see what it was and what it became when the paper industries started to fall in Western Massachusetts.
I grew up in Glenburn, Maine. Actually, I did my undergraduate degree here at the university, and I had a focus on pulp and paper. So I did a co-op in a pulp mill, and I kind of worked firsthand and saw how the mills were struggling to stay competitive and stay open. Biorefinery is actually kind of modeled off of a petroleum refinery where you take in your feedstock and you use it entirely to make every single thing that you can. So we're trying to do the same thing with wood, to bring in the wood and use every last bit of it to get the highest value possible out of it.
Well, my material is very dependent on the work that Sarah is doing. Wood is a great material. You can separate their components and obtain different products. In this project, the main objective is to use the feedstock to produce fuels, but the remaining material we can use in order to produce another different material. After breaking the wood, I'm going to get a material which is a little dark. It's because of the chemical that are in the fibers themselves. And I'm going to mix with a plastic material, and I have two components. And my final material, which is a wood plastic composite, is going to have the positive or the more interesting or more positive characteristic of each of these.
I'm in the Forest Resource Department. I'm specifically looking at forest economics. I've always been interested in economics, but I thought economics lacked a certain dimension to it, and the dimension that I thought it lacked was sort of the ecological bend. With the FBIRI project, you're going to have increased jobs in the area, but it seems that people sort of judge rather than making sure that there's enough supply to the paper industry, to the wood products industry, that water quality, air quality, wildlife, these are the things that are very important to people, and they see their forests as providing those services.
We are looking at breaking wood down into its primary components: cellulose, hemicellulose, and lignin. And cellulose is the fibery part that you can make paper out of. Lignin is kind of the glue that holds the wood together. But then there's this hemicellulose part of wood, and it doesn't make paper, and it doesn't burn for very much energy. It's just a polymer, like a long chain of sugars linked together. And we can take those sugars, if we break the hemicellulose down, and turn them into either ethanol for making biofuels, or into things like lactic acid for polymerizing into polylactic acid for very basic plastics like you would have at our dining commons. You have cups and forks and spoons made out of polylactic acid from corn. So we're just looking at making that same thing from wood.